For nearly 20 years, he has been a prominent figure in the Australian Lebanese Muslim community of Sydney. More recently, he has gained widespread praise nationally as one of the most passionate voices from the Australian Muslim community, a respected and hard-working general practitioner. He provides much more than just medical care to the people in his community. He is also a voice against social injustice and stands against hatred and intolerance in our communities. In wake of the Cronulla riots in 2005, he played a central role in the rebuilding of community relations and cohesion. As the president of the Lakemba Sports Club, he used sport as a social tool to build bridges between communities and channel young people's physical energies into positive activities. He trained the first group of youth from southwestern Sydney to become volunteer pool guards and was instrumental in establishing a program to recruit and train Muslim youth as lifesavers at the Cronulla beaches. His efforts to build harmony between the Muslim and non-Muslim community had been recognized with the Human Rights Medal in 2007, and in 2015 he was recognized as the Australian of the Year and Australian Father of the Year. In 2020 came the COVID-19 pandemic, when he chose to give up his front yard to operate a drive-through testing clinic. He put himself on the front line to tackle COVID-19 head-on and was part of the national rollout of the COVID-19 vaccine, including opening the first drive-through vaccination clinic at Belmore Park. He and his team have administered over 30,000 COVID-19 vaccine, a significant effort in getting us out of lockdown. I now introduce to you Dr. Jamal Rifi.
No problem, no problem.
Thank you. Thanks, Habibi.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Hi, everyone. I reckon our MC did not introduce himself at the beginning, and now he's been awarded the Lebanese honorary citizenship. But in 2007, when we graduated the 22 Surf Lifesavers volunteer at Campsie, and everyone called them the 22 Muslims Surf Lifesavers. Look, honestly, we had a priest with us, so we weren't all Muslims. We are actually Australian. We are Lebanese, and it doesn't matter what's actually our religion, and doesn't matter what's our background. We are all Australian. But John, to his credit, thank you. John, to his credit, he came in on that night, and Tani, his wife, I still know that she was not feeling well, and she took it upon herself to come and share us of that function at that night. And so, John, thank you, and very proud to say that we are also fellow citizenship of Lebanon. Okay. I'd like to thank Joe Corey and Joe Khattar and Joe Rizzo and every Joe's that's actually in this room. And I'd like to thank all of you for being here. I haven't worn a suit ever in 2011, and this is the first night I wear a bloody black suit too. Last year I only wore my PPE, face mask, and everything else. Tonight, my eldest son, who is also a registered nurse, that when he came in tonight, I didn't even recognize him because he was wearing a suit. I only saw him actually in his PPE. And on a serious note about COVID, I only had one mission, and one mission is to do, and that is listen to our scientists, then listen to our politician, listen to our health ministers and decipher their messages, then translated, then transmitted to our local community. And I reckon I did my best to do that mission. Everything else, it just actually came in together. And the Honorable Minister here tonight, and I want to thank him, and I did apologize to him for troubling him with all these messages on his private phone, telling him what's been happening at our local community at the grassroots level. But I can tell you, I sent much more messages to Gladys Berejiklian at any one time of the day and night. She was at the helm. She needed to know the fact. She needed to steer the ship. And these two, together, Gladys and Brad, they've taken us to a very safe shores. So thank you. Thank you. We all know the Australian Lebanese Chambers of Commerce, and I reckon they are the epitome of the Lebanese ethos, morale, and giving back. So to everyone who's here, I want to thank you for supporting the ALCC, because your presence here, it just shows how much this organization actually pays back to those needies in Lebanon. We're working for the needies in Australia, and we're doing a very good job. But at the same time, right now, unfortunately, there are more needies in Lebanon, and I want to thank him for all the efforts that they have been doing. Thank you, Joe. Thank you. I won't stay long, even though that's probably I have a lot to share with you. But I had, at one stage, 84 people working with me. I had pharmacists, podiatrists, registered nurses, enrolled nurses, student nurses. And all these people from different backgrounds, they spoke about 14 different languages. And we were happy to deliver and decipher the messages in all these languages through our encounters. I'm proud to say that so far we have vaccinated 32,000 people in New South Wales, because the majority, yes, they come in locally, but I had some people that come in far away from Newcastle, Port Macquarie, and Orange to get vaccinated in our clinic. And right now, my message to all of you, don't listen to the butcher who trying to make himself a scientist talking about medicines. And I have nothing wrong about butchers, but just a figure of speech. Listen to the scientist, and the science is very clear. 6 months after your second vaccination, get your booster. Get your kids 5 to 11 years old to get vaccinated when the rollout happen. Keep social distancing, wear your mask, and tell your friend, listen to the scientist, not the pseudo-scientists, because they don't know much about this virus better than what we know. And I'm not talking about myself. I'm just talking about our Australian scientists all over the country. They're doing their best. You don't want to listen to the politicians? Yes, you're free. They're doing their best, and they're doing it honestly. They are being under the hammer every day of this pandemic, day in and day out, trying to get us and steer the ship to a safer shores. And let me tell you, they've done a very good job. You compare the mortality rate that we have in Australia with anywhere else, we come actually probably right on the top. The second thing, I had to deal with people suffering from COVID, and I know how it affects them, and how many people, in my opinion, died unnecessary because they were influenced by negative informations out there. And right now I'm seeing people who've been vaccinated, they got the virus, and they get sick 1 day, 2 day, half a day, 3 days maximum, and they get better, they stay at home, they don't go to hospital. Our vaccines are safe, our vaccines are effective, and my message to you, get your booster. 5 to 11, get them vaccinated, and I thank you. But before I leave, I can't do what I have done if I did not have someone with me at the house who is supporting me in everything I do. Someone who actually decided that when I did the first drive-through of COVID testing and examination, every patient came in for me to examine him. He was a risk to me of giving me the virus. And I've taken every precaution that I could. And we've done every obstacle for us to get the virus. And we've been very successful. Among 84 workers that I have, handful of people contracted the virus. But at the same time, every patient that I see, it could be a potential carrier. By the end of the day, I have to go home. I have to share my meal with my wife. And if she did not accept that risk with me, I would not have been able to do it. So to Lana, thank you. And to everyone in my family, thank you. Good night. Good night.